Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia. Today we're getting to a stupidly expensive lineup of my favorite bourbons above $200. These are actually all over $300, between $300 and $500, which is stupid amount of money for 2025 so far. Now I've had a couple more recent bottles that would be in this lineup. I think Buff Turkey I just picked up recently. It was like a $400 bottle, so but that'll be towards the end of the year. But first, ADHD whiskey, Matt Porter over there, did me wrong this week. So we're going to get into that right now.
So there are only 3 samples left. Trev from Ohio sample versus Carlos Garcia sample. I nose them, I taste them, I declare a winner, I say Trev from Ohio's moving on. I reveal the pour that Carlos sent me and it was Calumet 18. Way to go, Trevor in Ohio, am I right? Then Trevor from Ohio makes quick work of the final sample to move on to become the champion of the evening. Trevor from Ohio is the winner. Time to reveal Trevor from Ohio's pour, and guess what it is? Calumet 18. So today, I'm pouring Carlos Garcia's Calumet 18 versus Trevor from Ohio's Calumet 18. We're gonna taste them blind and we're gonna find out once and for all, for certain, is one of them actually better than the other, or did the other 22 samples I tasted before this showdown just mess me up a bit? If it is copper for Carlos Garcia, then I have to admit that Carlos Garcia got screwed. And I should have picked glass 2 tonight to make myself not look as bad. So, color is... Son of a bitch! Damn it! Oh, Carlos Garcia got so screwed. Sorry, Carlos. My name is Matt. This is ADHD Whiskey, like I always say. Keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on making decisions in real time.
You know what, Matt? I don't accept your apology. No, I'll play it. Yeah. I'll definitely link in the description the 3.5-hour live stream he did. I'm at the very, very end. Like he said, I was the second to last pour that came out. And I also linked that video that I clipped those clips from, which is about like a 9-minute video where he basically blinds a Calumet 18 versus Calumet 18, which is perfect timing because Calumet 18 is in this lineup. And that just happened this past week. So the live stream was last Friday, and the follow-up video came out like Monday, Tuesday of this week. So, you know, if Matt really feels bad and wants to make it up to me, you know, I'll gladly take an invite to Matt Madness 2026. Just saying, throwing that out there. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's just crazy that it was just so random, and he pulled the Calumet 18 back to back, and then he called mine in the live stream an 04. So he basically thought it was an 04, so Blue Label. I'm like, damn it, I was so excited that I was like making it to the end. I figured like I was gonna rock it at the end. Anyways, I had to talk about that because that just happened. And Calumet 18's in this lineup, so why not? But let's do a giveaway while I'm rambling here. Okay, so this one is for... Focusing, perfect. The best over 100 finished bourbons I did last Friday. Darren L. Allen, I think it's the second time you won one of these. Congratulations, buddy. Appreciate your support. All right, so let's get into it. My wife poured these blind for me about 15-20 minutes ago. Get some more air in it because they are very high aged. So let's get right into the nose. All right, a good amount of sourness on that. So it's oaky, sourness, peanut, cherry. Good nose. Nothing, not a crazy good nose, but okay. Sourness, It's one of those notes. All right, so B on the nose, vanilla bomb, a lot of oak, dark cherry, vanilla fudge, just an elevated nose. These are all so expensive. And they're all really good. So we're facing off 5 expensive and really good bottles. So this would be a good indicator of what actually shows out at that price point versus other things. So just off like the nose, A is way below B on the nose. But you know, you guys know me. I care way more with the palates. I just like to do the nose, kind of get some notes, kind of like get an indicator of different things. So C on the nose. I actually like C's nose even better. The red fruit, oak, vanilla. It was more sweet than the first two glasses and denser. I've never wrote that as a nosing note. It just seemed very like concentrated in the notes. If the noses keep getting better, that's good, I guess. Okay, let's go to D. Man, I like that nose a lot too. Holy moly. So that one was way more nutty direction. But right off the rip, maple syrup, it was like so sweet, woody, nutty. And then that nutty note became peanut butter, peanut shells. So definitely went that direction, like the peanut direction, but it has a lot of maple syrup sweetness. Let's go to E. All right, so E's nose was kind of similar to A's. Similar in that I didn't like them as much. So dark fruit, green Jolly Rancher, a little farmy, which is the note I didn't really like that much, and a little bit of sourness. So the noses definitely went to the middle three. So let's go into the palate. Well, that was definitely different than the nose. So dark fruit, red apples, slight anise, stewed fruits, a lot of fruits, definitely sweet, so I wrote sweet. On the finish, as soon as I went to the finish, it got a little smoky. It was slight. It wasn't like peaty smoke, I think it was like kind of like just smoky. Rich oak, vanilla, marshmallow. So lighter on the finish, but the palate was a lot of like fruit, but not bright fruit, like darker tones. First sip, so let's go to the second one. Wow. So I said how in the first pour was like all darker, not bright. The second sip, completely opposite, which is crazy that changed that much. Red Jolly Rancher immediately, which is like red fruit brightness, sweet, candy sweetness. I wrote brighter. I wrote red fruit on the palate, or on the finish as well. And that's kind of like what's lingering. It's kind of like red Jolly Rancher was significantly strong on the palate and on the linger on that second sip. Where did that come from? Let's see what the third sip does, huh? Man, each sip got so much better. It was like, not like creeping up a little bit, it was taking like leaps forward each time. So this time I got more vanilla on the palate. I just wrote wow for the finish. So it's all those same notes. Darker fruit, bright fruit, rich oak, amazing vanilla notes, the sweetness. Man, it was so good. That is so, so good. Crap. I was like off the nose, I was like, okay, at least I can narrow it down to 3, and then immediately redeems itself. Unlike Matt Porter. Call back. All right, let's go to B, I guess. I was debating on taking another sip out of A, but when I go back and forth, I'll see what happens. B is so freaking good. Lord, again, like I said on the nose, it's just you can tell it is something that should be more expensive. You know, again, we're talking about expensive bottles here. Vanilla and banana cream pie, rich oak, cherry, leather, cedar. On the finish, smoky again, which is crazy. I rarely ever say smoky on bourbons, but again, like a little smoky. I didn't smoke cigars today. Smoky, rich vanilla, rich oak, more cedar, cherry bomb. So a lot of the same notes. All the notes are like an elevated experience. But let's get into the second sip before I crown this the winner already. So good. All right, so the only new note I wrote was the vanilla fudge on the finish. Again, this is a vanilla bomb. There's a lot of cherry. There's a lot of good oak, some leather and cedar, but the vanilla is so good. And on the finish, that vanilla and like that cherry note were so strong. It almost tastes like some kind of like vanilla cherry dessert. So good. All right. One more sip. Yep, I love that. Now, it's not the most complex pour, but what it has going for it is the pour itself is just phenomenal. So I'm curious what this is, because I kind of have an idea what it is based off kind of the notes. If it is what I'm thinking it is, I've said the same thing every time I've had it, where it's just an elevated pour, but it's not overly complex, but I absolutely love it. But this is the interesting thing where like glass A started getting more complex, and that's also really good. So I'm curious on what A could be. I have an idea what B is. I have no idea what A is. All right, glass 3. glass C trying to kill me. So if I'm all red and, you know, teary-eyed, okay, so I got to do another sip. I was writing notes and all of a sudden, like, it tried to kill me. Oh man. Oh man, I got all over the place. Oh my, it basically choked me out, and I didn't want to spit it out because these are so expensive. So I was like just fighting through it. Oh, oh that's probably like $10 of spillage right there, dummy. Okay. Okay. Maybe I'm biased now because I try to kill me. But after the first sip, it's definitely behind these two. So red fruit, oak, vanilla, dark cherry, nutty. The nuttiness carried over to the finish with hazelnut, red fruit, vanilla. Let's go for a third sip. I am probably gonna do a third sip of this because I choked out on the first one. More peanut butter. I already said vanilla on the finish before, but there's a little more peanut butter, more vanilla, better. One more sip. All right, that's pretty damn good too. So I got chocolate on the palate, red hots on the finish. Also very good. I don't think it's as good as A and B, but we'll see. Okay, let's go to D. All right, so D on the palate was okay. Very honest here. I'm the one that owns all these bottles, so if anything, I want to say all these bottles are amazing because I paid for them. But the palate was not incredible like some of these other ones. Now the finish kind of helped out a lot, but the palate itself was kind of boring. So the palate was oak, vanilla, brown sugar. And it wasn't like crazy elevated like kind of like B was. On the finish, nutty, oak, dark fruit, cherry, more the nutty profile. Second sip, it definitely got better on the second sip. Some more red fruit on the palate. Tastes a little proofier on the finish, where the first three weren't proofy at all, at least to me. This one you could definitely, it has a little bit more proof. Overall, after the first two sips, it's probably in last place. Something's got to be last, I guess. My third sip actually got back to like the first sip, where it's kind of like lackluster, not that complex, nothing that really sensational about it. The cheapest thing up here is $300. So would I buy D again? No. Don't be the Calumet 18. Don't be the Calumet 18. I bought a backup of the Calumet 18 already, so. And I'll get into that. Well, I'm talking about it now. So Calumet 18, at least in my area, the Costco's, they have it for like $370-ish. Now, if you guys know, the Calumet 18 is a $500 MSRP bottle. That's what I paid for my first bottle. My bottle's getting low, and Costco has a couple bottles at like $370, and my buddy went there. I never hunt Costco, so every time I go there, they never have crap. But we also have a Weller Millennium at our Costco for like $5,700 if anyone wants that bottle. But anyways. But the Calumet 18 they had for $370, and I was like, I'm getting low on my bottle. I keep doing the giveaways. I know it's gonna be in a couple of videos. So I'm like, and I love it. I do love it. We'll see. If glass D is the Calumet 18, I'll be eating freaking crow. I'll tell you that right now. But I did buy a backup bottle for $370. I think that's actually going to be in this month's haul video at the end of the month. I just got it sitting over there. Anyways, let's get into E. Well, that was very different. And man, candy. Okay, so on the first sip, tons of green Jolly Rancher. I circled it. Some coffee, some dark fruits, oak, sweet for sure. But that green Jolly Rancher is very strong on the palate. Then you get to the finish, and I'm like, it's still sweet, but it's not like the green Jolly Rancher. It's the watermelon Jolly Rancher. You know, like the pink one. I think that's the watermelon Jolly Rancher. It tastes like watermelon, and it's super sweet like candy. So I'm going with watermelon Jolly Rancher. Nutty, oak, vanilla. But man, that is candy sweetness, but multiple flavors. So very good. We'll get into this, like I said, before I say anything. Man, that's freaking crazy good too. So I got a little bit more caramel, walnut on the palate. On the finish, man, that watermelon Jolly Rancher is like the lingering note with other notes too. But man, that watermelon Jolly Rancher, I don't know how many times I've ever said watermelon Jolly Rancher. It's not even in my little cheat sheet board here. That is a crazy, unique note. Oh, this is gonna be complicated. Well, at least I have one that I can put on the bottom. Watch, and when I go A, B, it's gonna pop up to the top. One more sip on E. Oh boy. Okay, that's good. That is freaking good. What am I gonna do here? I don't know what to do. Okay, so I'm gonna A/B these back and forth and come back with any new notes and a score. All right, I'm back, and that was a lot of fun for me. So, kind of went more or less, I guess, how maybe going into this, how I would thought they were gonna line up. Let's do the giveaway. So, if you wanted to enter to win, we'll do 1 ounce because these are just stupid expensive. 1 ounce of each of these. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with capital letters money. So make sure it's capital letters, because you're just talking about how it's a waste of money and it's like capital letters. You're not paying attention. Went back and forth. In last place, let's see, I'm gonna go off the pricing that I paid for it, I guess. $400 bottle is this Bluegrass Elkwood Reserve 18-year-old 126 proof. It's a pick from Red Hot Liquors. I bought this from a friend who picked it up at his store. It is very good. Will I buy another one for $400? No, I will not. I scored that a 3.75. Okay, so let's go into 4th place. What is 4th place? 4th place at $400 MSRP, which is what I paid for this, is a Calumet 17-year, and I do really enjoy this bottle, but I also did a blind earlier this year where I did the 18, 17, 16, 15, and I picked the 16 over the 17 blind. So I didn't know how if it all of a sudden like got a lot better, awesome, because it's a $400 bottle. Would I buy another one? No. Okay, so let's go into 3rd place. And 3rd place is the Buckner's 15. This is actually, when I was this is 132.1 proof. It does not drink 130 proof. The proofiest one was this one. That's the second proofiest one up here. But at 132, this didn't drink that at all. Very good. Those Jolly Rancher notes. Now, this is a local store, Conti's pick. Conti's Heaven in the Glass. So, guessing Heaven Hill does give like the nutty profile like Heaven Hill. But it is very, very good. And I scored that a 4.3. And that is, I think, 350. Yeah, it's right around 350. And those are sitting at the store on the shelf. So if I wanted to buy a backup, I can go buy a backup. But I have a decent amount left, so I'm in no hurry right now. Now, it came down to these two. And the winner, and still one of my favorite bottles this year, the Calumet 18. This thing is just so good. So good. I really like it. I scored that 4.5. But the Beacon did really good, especially coming off that nose. Because this was A, and I didn't know if I really liked that nose so much. But the palate is really good. So I scored the Calumet 18 4.5 and the Beacon 4.4. So I'm sure they will end up in the end of the year best of the bottles. I'm sure the Calumet 17 might get back up there. The Buckners will probably get up there. I don't think the Elkwood was going to make it, but we'll see. We'll see the whole list and the averages and how they all come out. So, make sure you enter in the giveaway. If you usually don't, I know some of you guys always comment. You're like, I'm not going to enter, but, I'm giving away free samples. These are ridiculous bottles, so if you ever want to try some of these, definitely enter the giveaway. You never know, you might win. I know there's a lot more now, a lot more people, a lot more entries now. Just trying to share some of these crazy bottles that I have the fortunate opportunity to buy sometimes. So, let me know what your thoughts of any of these are, if you tried any of these. And Monday's video should be about Maker's Mark. Maker's Monday? Should be a review of the 2025 Cellar Age versus last year's. And I might throw in, I was like, oh, I'll just do 2, make it easy for myself. And I was like, I'll probably throw in a Born Maker's Mark, because why the hell not? So anyways, don't do nothing stupid. And if you do, don't get caught. Bye.